Okay, I think we're live.
Are we live?
I think so. I don't know. StreamYard I haven't used in a while. So to see me try to use OBS, but not using it in months, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I it took me forever to learn StreamYard. I can't imagine. I've tried OBS and it just scares me.
It's really easy. But there's like so much you can do with it that I don't even know. But just like simple stuff.
Yeah, see, I want to
But
learn how to edit like a pre-recorded video,
yeah, me too.
but
Because I did everything on my phone, so I think I made it 10 times harder to like
yeah.
upload videos. But hi Sherry, and hello everyone. Who's
Sorry,
watching
I
the
was
replay?
talking. Yeah, she's got her coffee. Autism mom of two. Sherry has her coffee.
Sherry, she probably gets that all the time. That song.
I drink a lot of coffee.
You do.
I love, oh yes, I love my coffee. Usually till about 3, I
What the
drink
heck?
coffee.
So do you do the Starbucks? You use Starbucks like
No, no, no,
no?
no, no, no,
Okay.
no. I actually my nephew's wife, she's from El Salvador. She ships it in for me, and let me tell you, I thought Folgers was good. This stuff is amazing.
You said I thought Folgers was good.
I used to
What? Where is it shipped from?
El Salvador,
Oh, okay.
and she sends me bags of them, and oh my gosh, it is so good.
I don't really
Yeah,
know the difference. I'm like, coffee's coffee. I just put a lot of sugar and a lot of creamer in it.
yeah, I used to, but I can actually drink the El Salvador coffee black. It's just so
Yeah.
smooth. It is so good.
I actually like. I just found this. My friend drinks it all the time. It's the coconut creamer.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like,
yep, I've
it's
seen
sweet
it.
enough to where, like, I don't even have to put sugar in it, so it's great.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
Hello,
great.
Cynthia,
Hi, Cynthia.
Becky Boo. These are all new people. Tangerine Tulip. I don't know a lot of these people.
It
Yeah,
doesn't give me energy either. Back Red Bull too. I like Red Bull for the taste of it, so
yeah. See, I don't drink any of those drinks. They scare me. Like energy drinks. They always have. There was a kid. He lived about an hour north of me, and he had went and got an energy drink and went to football practice and keeled over dead. He went into cardiac arrest, and they said it's
wow.
from, well, he was drinking Monsters all the
Yeah.
time. And then the other day, a good friend of mine, her son was out swimming. He's 17. He just graduated high school. And my other friend's son was with them, and he grabbed his chest and yelled my chest and went in the water. And Daniel and Connor thought he was like teasing. And they waited and he never came back up. So they both went down looking and they couldn't find him. And they found him like 15, in between 15 and 20 feet of water. So either he had something congenital or he's drinking those energy drinks like a
This
lot of
is
kids are.
just what you just told me about him.
Yep. Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good kid, a
Well, you
real
remember
good
those
kid.
5-hour energies
Ugh,
that
yes.
they used to, but then they took out whatever that was in it, supposedly. But I remember drinking those too.
Yeah.
But
But they scare me.
yeah, some people's hearts just can't handle it, I guess, with their body makeup.
Yeah.
But all right, well, we have how many people do we have in here? 9, 8, something like that. 8. What do you want to talk
8.
about? So much, right?
Oh, there's so much. Um, we can talk about anything, but I do want to ask the chat if any of these guys have heard of the Karen Reed case.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, and do you notice it? Like, okay, so there's the Riley Strain case, like that blew up, right? And
Yes.
I even noticed like right away just certain things about it. immediately.
Yes.
And so
Yep, me
I did
too.
a little
The
small
shoes,
rabbit hole.
Megan, the
Yeah.
shoes, the boots.
Wait, was there boots in that one? In the Riley Strain one?
Yeah. Remember? His
Oh,
boots were
by
off
the
and his
river.
yes, and his pants.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yep.
So he just got naked and then jumped in the river. Is that something like that? But and then yeah, and then the school that he went to, that mascot has like the two wings on top of his head, and then
Yep.
and the I think I went over it in live stream, but yeah, but you notice how that kind of like died fairly quickly,
Yeah.
like it blew up,
Yep.
but then it died. So it's like it just depends on the case if whether it's going to get that much attention or not. The way that
Yeah.
they put it together, so it seems, anyways.
Yep. Yeah, it's just it's nuts how that works, how some can just get full nationwide media attention and then others don't. But they come, they just shut it down though and said it was accidental drowning.
Mm-hmm.
And never, there's still several people, even his parents believe that something else was going on. I mean, I think they'll just keep adding things to it to get people
Right.
to watch it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you notice too lately with them, like especially since the Watts case, everything just happens to get caught on at some point in time before the murders or after there's body cam footage. So you have all the
Yep.
body cam footage in the Chris Watts case, and then you have Gabby Petito. They got pulled over just a couple days or whatever, a few days before they went missing, right?
Yep.
And then you have what was the next one? The Brian Koberger case, the Idaho case, or the Idaho 4 murders. He got pulled over, right? Just
Yeah.
a few days before he allegedly committed the murders, and then Riley Strain, he's caught on CCTV camera.
Yep.
It's like, oh, and also the body cam with that cop, like him walking by, and the cop doesn't even like he looks
Yeah.
kind of drunk, but the cop's not going to say anything. Like, give me a break,
Well,
Like
especially
how
when there
convenient.
was a car broken into, a normal cop would ask him, "Hey, did you see anything going on here?" He would have been interviewing people that were there, standing around, walking by, whatever. He
Yeah,
didn't even ask.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's funny. But then with the Watts case, we didn't get any footage. And it
Yeah.
was like, I mean, besides that, the obvious body cam footage of Coonrod, but like, it's just how convenient that um, the Vivint cameras were acting up when Shanann was out of town, because we're like, where's the footage of Kessinger going inside the house, right? And then it says in the discovery, Chris calls Vivint because they were having issues. The cameras were down. It's like, oh, how can So we don't get to see Shanann or Kessinger walking into the house, and then also Nate's camera was working, but yet somehow just coincidentally, like they don't catch Kessinger going in those couple of days or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or Shanann walking into the house. And then you have the neighbors, the only neighbor that had a video camera, there just happened to be bees all over it, which is symbolic,
Yeah.
or wasps or
Yeah.
something. So they didn't have any footage. Then the lazy dog, the one lazy dog, it only was live footage. They didn't record it. So there's no proof of Kessinger and Chris going to the lazy dog. And then I don't even know about the second one, because did they go to the second lazy dog? I don't even know what happened with that video footage. They just off that one off. They're just like, oh, but we won't ask for that one.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I don't remember. But hey, Jay. And then what else? Oh, no cameras at Survey 319. No camera footage of Shanann at the airport. No camera footage of the Kessinger allegedly going to the Rockies game. Like, no, it's like all the CCTV footage of could have caught him on the freeways driving. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, they didn't want to go through the trouble of asking for that footage from the city. It's like, it's just how many times does something have to happen to where it's not coincidental anymore? It's like I
Yeah.
go, Colorado's got a lot of messed up video cameras. Then they gotta work on that. But
Yeah. Becky Boo says another thing. If I had been Shanann Watts, you would think she would have checked the security system at home to see what Chris was up to.
especially if she thought he was cheating, yeah,
Well, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
There was something else I was going to say about it too. About the footage. I can't remember, but yeah, it's
Well, wasn't Nate's footage? They didn't want to show it, or they seen something, but they didn't want to show it. It was too bad or something. Was that of him supposedly
I don't remember
loading up
that.
the?
I just remember that they finally released that I don't even know what you call it, like terms of service or something, some sort of warrant that not terms of service, but the warrant that um Frederick Police Department tried to get from what's it, Comcast. That's what they had, Comcast. And they had waited past the time frame that they needed to get it before it was deleted from like Comcast's cloud server, because they can only
Oh,
hold
God.
their customers' information for a certain amount of time before they're going to get like overloaded with like data. So it only lasts for like a month or something. But then they waited too long, and that's why they didn't get the that's why they didn't get the footage.
Yeah,
All of
Becky
it,
says, yeah,
something like that.
they said he carried them out like trash. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Then that, if that were me and I was the Rusex, I'd be like, do you even know what the hell's going on in your investigation work? Because it doesn't seem like you do, because you just told us that you were convinced without a doubt that he carried out the bodies. They were deceased
Yeah,
when they left the house before they were killed at 7309. So
yeah,
clearly you don't know what's going on in your investigation, and that worries me. So step it up or something, what I mean? But they're like, oh no, he did a fantastic job. And then when they went on Dr. Phil, it's like, oh, I think she definitely has something to do with the murders. And then after, it's like a couple months later, it's like, nope, Kessinger is completely innocent. Frederick Police Department and the CBI did a fantastic job. There's no reason to investigate her. Nicole
where do you
Kessinger,
think she is, Megan?
who knows? Probably,
Do you think she had a mask on throughout, like a bodysuit? Because they do have them. Or do you think that they just gave her a whole new identity, had her cut her hair? I mean,
probably, yeah. That's what I think. I don't. That's the thing. Is like people ask me that, they're like, where, if this is true, then where's Shannon and the girls? Because I'm like, I don't know. Because if I knew that, I wouldn't have to be here spending like years trying to you know, convince people or whatever, show people my theory, I guess, on the case, or you know what I mean.
yeah,
But all I know is that with the Vegas event, which I say I don't even say that other word, the Vegas event, I just know that the girlfriend should have been investigated.
yeah,
She was the closest person to him for the biggest, mass pew 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 event in U.S. history, right? Why wasn't she investigated? Why was she just interviewed?
yep,
And then she only had she had Facebook, and it was just like we got a couple of pictures of like her and her sister, and then like a couple friends, and then her and Paddock. But that was it. Nobody came out and said that they knew Mary Lou Danley. Nobody said that they were her ex. Nobody, not even like people that wanted their 15 minutes of fame. It's like,
yeah,
how is that possible? Everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, or most people.
yeah.
And then
Becky said, oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, so not only was she not investigated, but she was just interviewed and treated like not a victim, but just like a witness almost.
And her and
Um,
her dad run the interview.
of Kessinger, yeah. But not only was Mary Lou Danley not treated as a suspect, but she also fell off the face of the earth. No friends and family came out
Oh,
and
yeah,
claimed they've known her. Like literally, she just fell off the face of the earth. She didn't go out and do interviews. She didn't write a book. Nothing. And so here I'm watching the SWAT case, and I'm like, this is crazy. There's all this body cam footage, and then I'm like, wait, where is she? Where's Nicole Kessinger? Like,
yeah.
why am I
Because
getting the same thing going on, even though it's like two completely different tragic events? It's like
is
all I
that
know
when you
is that they're
figured
both
it out? Was after
um
the,
well the ASH, the take two, American Horror
yeah,
Story. I'll just say that. When I saw that on TV, and then when I started seeing the connections in the very first like episode, I'm like, all right, something's up. There's something weird. It was just
Yeah.
it was too perfect. There was too much like documentation, like, and right out of the get-go, like, how can you even release all this information? Let's say hypothetically, or if it did go to trial, like that would be any juror would be tainted, right?
Yeah.
Because of all this information. Like they would be biased about it. As far as I know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't work in the court system, but usually they're not going to just release all of this information before a possible trial. But it's like they already knew there wasn't going to be a trial.
Well, exactly.
So, anyways, what was my answer? Because when you asked me where Nick Kessinger was, it's like I have no idea. More than likely a new identity,
What?
but
Yeah. Well,
it's the
like,
patterns.
but
It's
like
the patterns that
Becky,
convince me more. Is that where
Becky's
are they?
true. Yeah. But like Becky said,
Hey,
she,
dude.
maybe Shanann would be in Hawaii. She had a friend there, but Shanann had a very, very distinct smile. How do you change that? I mean, there's all sorts of cosmetic surgeries, and I swear a lot of these people wear masks. I mean, are you on TikTok?
I was on TikTok for about a day and then I deleted it.
Yeah, they have people show these masks. I mean, you can look like somebody totally different.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could add just like a tattoo, like, and change your accent or something, and be a totally different person. But the thing that I tell people when they ask me that too, it's like they say, well, if they are alive, surely someone would notice and say something. But it's like, put yourself in that situation. If you were in the mall, let's say, and you see Shanann or a woman that looks a lot like Shanann walking through the mall, is your first reaction to go up to her and go, hey, you're Shanann Watts, even though you're supposed to be dead, right? Because you were murdered by your husband, a psychopath. If you go up to that person, they're going to go, you're crazy. What are you talking
Yep.
about? I'm not. Who's this Shanann person? So by doing that, you're just going to make yourself look like a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it doesn't
I would
matter
be that
how much
crazy
it looks
person
like
that
her.
walked up to her
Yeah.
and said, "Hey."
But I mean, yeah, you could, but like, but does that make sense? Kind of like, so they're like,
Yeah.
people, if they would notice her for sure. I'm like, yeah, but even if they did, like, people are not going to want to go up and they would be nervous to go up and say, hey, aren't you that dead lady that got killed by her? Like,
Oh man.
and
Yeah.
then,
And
and then
and
Bella and
after,
Cece were young enough to where, like, 5 years from now, no one's going to recognize them. And then
yeah.
Bella's hair was cut short,
Well, some
almost
people
like she
now,
did boys.
I don't believe in
I
conspiracy theorists anymore, but some people are saying Bella was actually a
A boy,
boy.
yeah.
So how could what an easier way to,
Hmm.
change his, whatever.
I mean, it
There was
might
a
sound crazy to some
comment.
people, but it's really not that crazy, and it'd be really simple. You just cut her
Yeah.
hair or his hair or whatever.
Yeah. There was a comment that talked about Thrive. I think Becky said it.
Hi,
Yeah,
Rosie.
right here. Maybe Thrive is connected with PSYOPs. Their conventions looked very cult-like. You're exactly right.
Yeah, totally get that vibe from Lavelle, and that's the thing too. Is like, I just I can't say it enough that was a huge publicity stunt, because and it's like genius. Like, I don't want to praise them at all, by all means,
Yeah.
but like, what better way to market your company than have the mainstream media on your side? Have,
Oh,
like I said in my
and
videos, like, you
putting
can't
out.
turn anywhere and see
Mm,
a patch on someone, or one of the agents asking about Thrive. I don't even, if you go into Discovery and you search for Thrive and see how many times it comes up, or Lavelle, bet you it's a lot.
yeah.
And it's like, and people were like, well, why would that be a publicity stunt? Because it made kind of made Lavelle look bad, because if that was possibly a reason why it could have caused Chris to like murder them, right? But I go, it's not, it doesn't matter if it's like shined in a negative way. People are still subconsciously going to want to go, out of curiosity, go to the website, see what it's all about, And then you get there and it's like thrive, thrive, and like everyone looks good, they're all fit and healthy, and it's like, you know, they got the cool
But did you
videos
notice the
ready.
majority of the people that had those Thrive patches on wasn't too fit and healthy?
Right. Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, and then I think, like we were talking before we went live, the Millers, he got arrested for domestic assault. Then they both had the Thrive patches on. That is just
Hey,
weird.
Molly. I'm sorry, say that again.
With the Millers that bought the Watts
Oh,
house,
oh yes, yeah, yeah.
they're
You just told me
selling
that.
it, but he got arrested and they have pictures of the mom and dad wearing the Thrive patches, just like Chris and Shanann. I mean,
Well, maybe that's why he was, you know, an abusive husband. You know, I don't know. It's like
it makes you wonder, are they going to come out and say that later on? They're setting the stage for something, if you ask me.
I want to know how I could like because when I was researching to find out how much Thrive benefited from it, like how much their sales actually, like the actual stats,
Oh, I guarantee you
like
they made a bunch of money off of me.
or else. But like, but I just got an article that said how much of their sales skyrocketed. But I wanted like statistics. I wanted to see from 2017 to 2018, like how or 18 and then 19, how much of a jump that was in numbers. But like, I couldn't even I couldn't find out. Do they even post like stuff like that? Do companies have to post their
I I
earnings?
think I think if you are part of Thrive, I got out real quick when I figured out what was going on. There was something back on in like your back office of the company website that you had, because they gave you your own website or whatever. And if I'm not mistaken, they had something that showed the sales. Not, I don't think it ever showed how much money they made, but how much their sales
Oh, gross.
increased.
Yeah, like a percentage wise, but not the actual like number. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like I would think there would have to be somewhere for some sort of documentation that companies would have to document how much they made that year or something, but also public record. I don't know. But either way, still proves my point that their little publicity stunt worked. Their big publicity stunt, I should say. I mean, and
yeah,
for free, unless they had to pay whoever's orchestrating this case, you know. So a little bit, throw a little bit, you know, to say, hey, how about you have Shanann go on Facebook and wear all these Thrive patches, keep her Facebook account public, and just talk about
yeah.
Thrive all day long about how great it is. You know, it's like I don't know. It's just it's genius.
And
Ingenious
that's all
thing.
she did. Ugh, that's all she did. She talked me into it.
I'm gonna yeah.
Um,
And Anna Darko, like she did. She talked you into it. Yeah.
well,
And
not
she was convincing.
personally, but
Yeah.
yeah, that
Did it help at all,
Anadarko.
or did it was it like a placebo? Did it seem like it was helping, but it really like was it a mind over matter
I think
thing?
it was just the mind thing. It
Yeah.
was you hear it so much you're gonna believe it. So it was constantly, this is great, this is healthy, this is good for you. You have all this energy. I like I said, I really when it come to Shanann, it was crazy because I was her age when I had two little girls the same age. My two kids
Wow.
were 13 months apart years ago, and she was diagnosed with lupus. I had recently been diagnosed with lupus. So that
Yeah.
case really hit me hard. And I was devastated. How could he do this to them? I mean, it affected me. And I don't know how I got on your channel one day and I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. And in all reality, all I did was prove you right because, like I said, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And if they go back and they watch and they look and they watch your videos, or, even if the American Horror Story series, all that they have to see it. But I've been told
Yeah.
I'm crazy too, but that's okay.
The predictive programming is a little hard because people can say that, oh, you could use it in any scenario, or you could relate to it or something, or whatnot. But it's like, you really can't, because I mean, and that's the thing too, is like, I laugh about this still, when I got to the season, I think it's the season 2. I guess you think I'd be able to remember all this stuff since I make videos and talk about it every single day for like 4 years. But for I think it's season 2, Asylum. So it goes Murder House, Asylum. When the German doctor, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about this and you've seen my videos, the German doctor, that evil doctor that was in the asylum, that would like do crazy operations and stuff and really nasty things to his patients at the asylum. One of the patients there claimed to have been not, is it Helen Keller? Which one was the one in the Holocaust?
Oh gosh, I can't
Anne
remember.
Frank, not Helen Keller. Anne Frank. Okay, so she is a patient at the asylum, and she's claiming that she's Anne Frank. But get this, her name's actually Charlotte, right? Charlotte, Kessinger's friend.
Yep.
So she claims that she's Anne Frank, and it's her in the scene, and the evil doctor, German doctor, and she goes, "I know who you are, and I know what you did to all those women in Auschwitz." And he looks at her just directly, and he goes, "Lies." He goes, "I'm not from Auschwitz. I'm from Scottsdale." And he says it just like that, and I go, "What the fuck?" Excuse my language. I'm like, and I turn to my boyfriend that I was dating at the time, and I go, "You heard that, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Scottsdale?" Because if you're from Arizona, you know that Scottsdale is the only Scottsdale in the entire world. So there's no Scottsdale City, like besides Scottsdale, Arizona. There's no Scottsdale Town, like Scottsdale County, only Scottsdale in the world. And it's like, so put that with all the ones before that, and then all the ones after that. But like, I knew when he said Scottsdale, I was like, that's hilarious. I'm like, you're gonna put like what, and a German doctor, I'm from Scottsdale, like that's where he's gonna claim to be. And if anybody knows how Scottsdale is, it's a very uppity, rich neighborhood. And this guy's playing a corrupt, evil POS Holocaust concentration camp, did evil things to women doctor, and he's like, "I'm from Scottsdale." And I just started cracking up, and I just remember like it was yesterday, and I'm just like, yeah, yep. That's
it's
like
crazy.
that sealed the deal for me.
I'm just shocked here. I just seen a comment where somebody said on John O'Keefe's gravestone, inscription reads, "It's only a movie." I did not know that. That's the Karen Reed case, Megan, that I've been talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about it, but about them being the child and everything. But
about what?
About I want to say Amber Heard because it reminds me of that almost, but not, because I don't know anything about it.
That's just
Who's
nuts. John
O'Keefe?
was the boyfriend to Karen Reed. They're saying it's corruption in pretty much the whole town, law enforcement,
It's only
and they're framing Karen Reed.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they've been, like I said, deliberating now for 4 days, 3 days, or whatever. Who knows what's going to happen
Did you say that
with
there were
it? But
shoes in that case or no? I can't remember.
yes,
You said before.
yes, because at the crime scene there was one shoe on, but they couldn't
that's
find
right.
the
That's
other
the whole
shoe,
thing
and
that they're
like,
talking about now. Oh, that's right. Okay.
yeah, later on they found the shoe was there,
like
and supposedly all these law enforcement missed it. I mean, it's crazy. It's so frustrating because I get so mad.
Mainstream media, Alma. Yeah, I know. I can get frustrated. Yeah, I know Helen Keller was the blind chick. Yeah. What's that joke? This is terrible, but how's it go? Helen Keller walks into a bar, and then a chair, and then a table. Okay. But all right, that was bad. Moving on. News Nation covers all those cases. Yeah, the Idaho. Yeah, and then there's that characteristic again that I always talk about, like those red flags. If in these highly publicized cases, if evidence is getting destroyed or goes missing, that's one of your red flags to look out for. Now, if you see that in the case and evidence goes missing, that doesn't make it fake or orchestrated, but that should make you go, maybe I should look out for some of these other red flags that Think talks about, because how do you destroy an entire murder scene before a trial even like starts? What if the prosecution or what if the defense was like, hey, I don't think you guys did a thorough job. I don't think your team did a thorough job in, investigating that house. You may have missed evidence. And that's some evidence that could, save my client's life or, whatever, going to prison for the rest of his life. But, oh, nope, wait, sorry, we destroyed the entire house. We demolished it. So, oh, well, she got the evidence, or Survey 319. They demolished that. Or selling Chris Watts' work truck just a couple months after. Or Stephen Paddock from the Las Vegas event. Like, they cremated his body, and it was still an ongoing investigation in one of the biggest mass shootings in history. But they cremated this man's body.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah. There was somebody else that who was it? Just here recently in a case, they cremated a body.
Tristan Bailey, right? They cremated her body.
Was it Tristan?
And then also Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, I think they cremated too, right?
Yep. I thought there was even one more recent than that, but I can't remember.
Oh, you know who it was? It was that case that I keep trying to tell you, the Miller, somebody Miller, and she was dating that married priest or pastor.
Oh yes, Micah.
Yeah,
yes.
Micah Miller. Yeah.
Yes, so that one there is another
her body, right?
psyop. Huh?
And they cremated her body and didn't do an autopsy, right?
Yep.
It's hard to convict someone without a body. It's crazy.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that's another whole shit show case. And I know people are like, well, why? And I'm like, well, for one, they don't want us trusting anybody, our husbands, our wives, our children,
Mm-hmm.
And
I've seen so many times, and I don't know how many comments I've seen where I've showed examples in one of my videos, and it's like they say how they can't sleep at night, how they don't even trust their husband anymore or their significant other, and it's just they stay up all night like crying and I'm like, I get it. It's very, very sad, but if it's to the point where it's affecting your life to where you can't sleep at night and or you can't go to work the next day, to me, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's especially, but that's why they make them so tragic. Like, what's more horrific than this man like killing his wife and kids, and then not only that, but then stuffing them in oil tanks, right? Like, that's pretty horrific. The more horrific, the better for them, because when they control us with fear and emotions, and they say the best way to control people is with fear. And people, when they're emotional, they don't think rationally or logically. They just think with their emotions, which is scary.
Alma says she don't trust her dogs.
Alma, that's not true.
That's about the only thing I trust is my dogs. No, Jim, he gets to teasing me, he's like, yeah, all about this true crime. If I don't wake up one day, and I said, yeah, you better be good.
Yeah, and they're like, I'll have Frederick Police Department and CBI investigate your case too, so they can botch it.
Yeah, Tawana says that they cremated some of the Idaho 4. I didn't know that. See, I didn't even get into that because I knew right off.
Yeah.
I knew most of these cases I know right off, except for that Karen Reed. It just hit me with the whole shoe thing. And then as I went back, I started seeing more and more and more. Yeah. But I just can't get in. I just can't get into them because it's so frustrating to me, because there are people that there's real cases out there. There's real missing people out there,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody wants to bat an eye at those. Which I didn't. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Iowa, we actually got a cold case unit now. We fought and we fought and we fought for 5 years now, and we finally got it.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that Harry Milligan's case is
Yeah,
the first one that
that'd be
they,
great.
yeah, or one of the first. There's a lot of people missing, over 300 and some cold cases in Iowa, but
Yeah, that's I did a tribute video because of all these other, like, there's so many. Let's say hypothetically, let's say this case was real. You're still spending like every single day, like people in the true crime community just obsessing over this case. What about all the other ones that don't get so much attention? Like, real or not, like, what about them? So I did a live stream as a tribute to them, and I showed all the women and children that were missing in the year of 2018 that Shanann and Bella and Cece, that this happened, and allegedly, and nobody's talking about them. Nobody's uploading videos of them to,
yeah.
So, and nothing else matters. I honestly have not looked into this Sebastian Rogers case at all. It almost reminds me of the like boy version of the Summer Wells case. But I literally know nothing about it. But all I see is the family drama and the titles of the videos and how they're getting involved.
Oh yeah, you've got
offline
channel creators fighting each other, going. I mean, it is the biggest shit show ever.
Hi, Tawana. New people here. That's awesome. New faces.
Becky Boo says she's not far from me. Well,
and
I think.
Welcome. Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Didn't I ban you? How you saw you back in here? I was like, wait. But welcome.
You banned somebody.
I think Real Justice is probably the only person that I've ever banned from my channel. Honestly, except unless it was like a bot and they kept posting like just repetitive stuff.
Yeah.
So Lord knows how he's back in here, but welcome, Real. Always a pleasure. Okay.
This Real Justice, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hello, Real. Welcome.
She goggled. I love typos. She Googled how long does it take to die. Who did? I don't.
Karen, that McCabe, Jen McCabe, or Albert. Which one was it that said that? And then say, yeah, that's on that Karen Reed case. Haas instead of how, it's HOS, long to die in the cold. Is she Googled it? Oh, I've been banned a lot of places, Alma.
But why would Mia be mass flagged though? She's not on YouTube anymore. Yeah. Iowa. Did you see and when was it? A couple months ago. There was something else going on at the same time. Something with Pelosi. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get political, but it was at a church or something, and the Baphomet statue showed up. Remember that? If you're in Iowa, Allison?
What's that? Say that. Oh yeah, it was at the Capitol, and it's still there.
At the Iowa Capitol. The Baphomet statue.
Yep.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And a guy, he actually got arrested. He went to take it down. He got arrested. Yeah, my respect for our governor decreased tremendously after that. She said it's freedom of religion. What?
What about the Molly Tibbetts case? That wasn't.
Yeah, I was just gonna Molly.
Molly. Oh, yeah.
I thought for the longest time it was real.
Wait, is that the soldier one?
No, she was the runner. She was from University of Iowa. She ran all the time, and
okay.
But there's things in that case that I don't know. If, in my opinion, if it is a real case, I do not believe that that boy did that. I think they framed him because he couldn't speak English. And the only reason I think that is because the ex sheriff, his two daughters, both testified that there was sex trafficking going on. There was a house that they kept him in. Am I allowed to say that on here? I don't know.
You can say whatever you like.
Well,
Not whatever, but
yeah, yeah. But what do they call those houses? And that he had,
crack house. No.
done things to his own daughters.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean,
Alma says no, he did it.
we're into
Yeah,
like these days where I was in a stream the other night and the mods were saying, please don't say the M word, murder. I'm like, wait, what? Like we're in is this I'm like looking around, I'm like, if we're not in the true crime community, isn't this what happens? Like murder, how are you not supposed to say the M word?
I got my Facebook page taken down. I fought it and got it back up for saying I don't even know if I can say it on here, self-harm, but I said the real word. They took my whole Facebook page down.
Yeah. Good old Facebook. Is this United States? Yep, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, well, I guess I could come up for synonyms for the word murder, I suppose. But I mean, but it's ridiculous. I'm like, it's to the point where it's not even YouTube censoring us. Now it's the moderators in the true crime community that are censoring us for saying certain
they say
keywords,
they say schmurder. Yeah.
Schmurder,
I don't hear anybody.
Oh
Yep. I've seen a lot of people, or they like the pre-recorded videos, they bleep it out. They won't even, it's crazy.
And grape, yeah. I mean, grape is not funny. Grape is not funny. But if you've seen this video on YouTube where they talk about the what is it called? The graper or whatever. It is I wish I could play it, but I can't on YouTube because I'll get copyrighted. But I think it's the channel's called the 5 Whitest Kids You Know or something like that. The videos are kind of old, at least over 10 years. And there's two guys sitting at like this big table, and this guy is sitting out across the table and he's pitching this advertisement for Kool-Aid, right? Like a grape Kool-Aid. And the mascot for the Kool-Aid is the graper. And like, he's like running around, like when he's doing this pitch to these guys for his commercial, he's running around. He's like, I'm going to grape you to the radiator, tie you to the radiator and grape you. And then one guy's like, oh, this is terrible. And he's like, no, it's the grapist. He's the grapist. the grapist. And I'm like, oh my God, this is funny, but it's
God.
And then Alma said grape. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, I know that.
But no, it's ridiculous. So we got to change words around. And that's how I was for a little bit. I'm like saying pew, pew, pew events. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Why do I have to watch what I'm saying?
I'll never forget the first time you were saying pew, pew, pew. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about?
No, I remember like, I not exactly verbatim, but I said, I go in 2012 when that event took place at that building where small people go. And then there was that drill, and then there was a pew, pew, pew. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, if people come to my chat, they're literally going to think I'm nuts. Like, why is she speaking in code or something? Like, I'm like, I always said, I'm like, I have a hard enough time or difficult time speaking as it is on my live streams, let alone having to like reword everything and speak in code, So
yeah, some people are really good at those codes, but not me. I'm sitting here thinking, what are they talking about still today? Especially on TikTok.
Thanks, hold the fort. Can you do that? I got this cat. I gotta let him out again.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, they do, Becky Boo. They do censor us way too much. It's getting to be ridiculous. And if you do I did a video on my channel, oh gosh, probably a year ago on the Georgia Guidestones. And I've got where even if I wanted to monetize, I can't. They won't let me because of that. And all it was talking about the destruction of the Guidestones, and I went over all the writing on them and stuff, and they took it down. And then um, I uploaded a video, which I was probably stupid, but I did this like 2 years ago, maybe closer to a year and a half ago on the, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the poke. And they took that down, and it was like 2 weeks before I could upload anything. They just done that recently.
Oh,
I have
real.
8 chickens in town. I love chickens.
You have 8?
Becky says she has 8
Oh,
chickens. Oh, Becky, it's bad. It is so bad. I mean, like I said, I can do a video and somebody will complain about something I said and they'll take my video down. It's a joke. And it's nothing that I've said, but they will just mass report because they don't like what my channel's doing or saying or anything.
yeah. Well, if you any channel creator that goes against the like the official narrative, especially in these like true crime cases or any of these tragic public cases that get all this media attention and publicity, I made a video and I also did like a couple live streams on it, and that's that Honor Network. And I said that I'm always like, don't let the name fool you. And one of the like okay, so that 2012 event, like really sad, bunch of like children, like I don't even want to go there because like if you literally talk about that case, any of those keywords that you mentioned, if you mentioned the dad, like the Penny Osner guy sounds like you'll get flagged immediately. So like I'll stay away from that. I don't mind doing that, but like other stuff, like why mind? But you just anything if you go against that official narrative, that Honor Network, they're supposed to be like advocates for the victims. So they actually did work with Shanann's parents, and then of course the 2012 event, and then some other tragic events. They're supposed to be advocates for them, and they're supposed to help them through the mourning process and how to act on social media or how to deal with social media because the cases are so public. And I'm like, I don't think the Honor Network would really approve of them going and inserting themselves into the community and then causing division and then acting like morons. Sorry.
And that's
But like,
exactly what's happening.
That Honor Network, what they do to answer, I think was it Beck that asked about or Cynthia, asked about the mass flagging. So they literally have 400 volunteers at the time. They could have more now. They go and seek out these channels that are speaking out against the official narrative, and they will mass flag that video to get it taken down. Because they know if they go and they do, dislike one and then dislike here. Like, no, that's not going to do anything. So you got to do it in mass. But
yeah.
So when I say like go and like when I first started like seeing all this stuff, there was a lot of information at that time on the internet where I could confirm what other people were telling me. So I could go and do the research myself. But now they've scrubbed so much that like anything that I say or that you say, you can say, oh, go look it up. But it's there. You can find it, but it's a lot more difficult to find now than it was when I first started, researching everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there was a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of a Lenny. He's it's not even the true crime. Well, he was in not even the true crime community, but it's more drama. But he supposedly he was one of his child was, in one of the school pews. And he actually, there was a girl, she got caught, but they showed their messages back and forth, and anybody talking about any of that, they will take your channel down. All they had to do was report back to him, and he had all the rights to go in and remove their channels. And he's still around. I just don't know which community. But his name's Lenny.
Oh, wait, Lenny.
He was a father of one of the boys.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. Penny, whatever, Osner or something. I said sounds like, yeah.
Yep.
There's
Oh, absolutely, J Lord.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, Jay, you're right. Yeah. See, and the thing is, that's the thing is with someone like Alex Jones, like he's one of the individuals where he woke me up to a lot of stuff. He did. Because with controlled opposition, it's like they will spew out a lot of facts, but then they'll throw in a lot of disinformation in the midst of it, or in the mix of it. So you just have to, like, it doesn't matter. Even with, like, I always talk about Ole Damagard. He's like one of my favorites, if not my favorite. That seems the least like he would be controlled opposition. But like, just because a lot of what that I like him, it doesn't mean I'm going to believe everything that he says. Or like David Icke. Like, I'm not going to, like, he's like talking about reptilians and stuff, and I could say that's crazy, but it might not be.
Yeah.
You just have to take it with like a grain of salt until like proven otherwise, until you do more research. Or people say that a lot about Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper is a whistleblower that's had, high up in the CIA, and he saw the JFK files and was it Majestic 12 or those kind of like top secret files. They could say that he was a CIA plant and he was a controlled opposition, but he very well could have been. But he also woke me up to a lot of information, and the reason he's one of the reasons why, or one of the people that I listen to a lot, that I'm able to see this stuff.
Yeah.
But again, you have to like figure out. You can't.
Yeah, you got to decipher which is real and what isn't. And
yeah,
I think, and people probably think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think if if we truly know God, he gives us the signs. He gives us the wisdom to understand what's really going on. In my opinion, that's the way I feel, because I see things that normal people don't see. Not see them, you know what I'm talking about. I don't see ghosts or anything like that.
Right.
I'm talking, I comprehend situations and what's really happening, instead of just looking at it and believing everything. Because I mean, I'm from a small town. People believe everything that they hear. And trying to explain things, it's a lonely old world out there. I mean, even my family calls me conspiracy theorist. My mom, she's getting better, but my sisters and my brothers, they think I'm crazy. Jim, I'm starting to get him to where he actually understands some of it, but only maybe 20% of everything. It's just, it's lonely to try to talk to people about this kind of stuff because they have no clue.
Yeah. No, they don't. Yeah, and that's the thing with Alex Jones, Cynthia, is that, and just recently he's gone against what he said before about Randy Book, and after they started suing him, and he's going on these podcasts and going, oh yeah, I made a mistake, people make mistakes, and there was a lot of evidence pointing to that it was not real, and they're like, but to me that just shows that they got him, fortunately. I think maybe he had good intentions at first, but with him going after his money and who knows? But like, again, you have to, like you said, you have to decipher which sucks. But and the thing is too, is like with the news, we're supposed to be able to go and listen to the news to get the facts, right? But the mainstream media, they don't have to vet any of the information that they give. Like we do. I do. You do. Or we get,
speaking of the news, why isn't, I mean, you have it on social media, the Micah Miller case, the Karen, but like here in Iowa, you don't see anything like that on the news. It's all on social media. There was a, and Becky Boo might even know about this. There was a semi driver, David Schultz. He was found dead outside his semi, and they did an autopsy. And then they said they were going to redo the autopsy, but he was already cremated. Anyways, I think I've heard the news talk about him maybe twice. It's just nuts to me. And Ty Husted, they found his body after 6 years. It was all over like Facebook and newspaper articles. I think maybe one time on the news. I mean, this was a 19-year-old boy that was murdered. I don't care what they say, he was. And nobody's talking about it. Why? Harry Milligan back in 1984. Why is people not talking about this stuff? That's what's frustrating to me. That's why I say anything that's going out in social media, the mainstream media, all these cases, I think they are all psyops.
Yeah.
Are you there, Megan?
Yeah, no, and like you said, no, I was my keyboard's really clickety clackety, so I was gonna look up some screenshots of the shoes for you guys. I'll tell you, maybe the shoes will be their downfall because I mean it's getting ridiculous. I mean, that's a lot of shoes.
The shoes get me every time.
Okay, I won't start, but yeah, it was funny on my stream the other day when I was telling you about it offline, and I was like, oh, and I almost like yelped. I'm like, oh, I was like, sorry, I got excited. So when I saw Shanann pointing to the shoes, I'm like, how did I miss that? Like, she's literally pointing to like Lavelle purple shoes, like they're just hanging there. I don't, for whatever reason, and I'm
that
like,
blows me away when it's the shoes every time. It's like, oh, so when you made that community post saying, I know some of you think I'm crazy with the shoes, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So I was gonna see if I could find just some screenshots for everyone, and that's the thing too. It's almost like the Lee name. It's a very common name. So if you try to say that there's anything nefarious or weird about so many people named Lee in the case, they're gonna say, yeah, but that's like the most common middle name, or just name in general, and like especially in the United States, I guess. It's common. So if you, as a conspiracy theorist, right, are questioning the fact that there's so many, it's like you're crazy because it's just a common name, right? But it's like if you do like the numbers on it with the amount of people in the case, and then I'll have Lee, like go and do like an experiment at work or something, right? If you work in like a bank and go around and ask all your employees how many, like what their middle name is, and see how many are named Lee. Just to kind of do like a test on it. But like that's a lot of Lee names. And then Nicole. Again, it's like how many times do things need to pop up until it's not coincidental anymore? Am I muted? Are you there? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I was like, it's really quiet.
Oh, yeah, I was here.
Okay. Oh. I'm gonna take that scroll thing off. Now it's annoying me. Oh, can I pin stuff? Because I posted your link to your channel. But if you guys are not following Allison, please follow her. She's doing great content and covering a lot of stuff that I won't even cover. Like the NASA stuff and all that. But I wanted to post your link to the top.
Okay, well, thank you. Does
I don't know if I
anybody
can do
else
that.
have any channels that are in here?
I don't know if I can do that on StreamYard, can I? I hate StreamYard.
Yeah.
You still can't get into my Discord? Like, I wish you could get into Discord because it'd be so much easier.
No, and I don't know. Do I have to make a whole new like email? Because I only have one
Probably.
email.
There's
Yeah.
like strict about like email and phone numbers and stuff, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. But oh yeah, unalived or lived unalived.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now we got to change our words around.
Yeah.
That's what I say. That's what I say. That's where I draw the line. Sorry.
Yeah. I
Especially if
don't
it's
know
just
what
in
I
the
can
chat.
say and what I can't. I mean, I got in trouble being on other people's channels because I say something I'm not supposed to.
What was the most recent video that got taken down, Allison?
Well, it was my short video. It was on the poke, the jab. I don't even know if I
oh
can say the,
oh, I thought you
but
were trying
that
to
was
say about the Pope.
uploaded.
The Pope,
No,
yeah, I didn't
no,
get
no,
that part.
no. That was
Okay.
uploaded like a year and a half ago, and all of a sudden it gets taken down, and I can't upload for 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. And then I've had several videos taken down. The Georgia Guidestones. I can't monetize even if I wanted to. Which I think once you monetize, they watch every little thing you do. But they allow pornography. They allow bullying. They allow filthy mouths. I mean, I cuss sometimes, but some of these people, it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
But they won't allow my opinion.
Yeah. Like I said, anything that goes against that official narrative. If you go along with the official narrative, you'll be monetized. You'll get views.
And there's
You'll
a
do
lot of
great.
people. That's why there's so many channels out there that they're still up, and I don't know how. You know, so it makes me wonder. I'll be honest with you. They talk about Bigfoot or whatever that's called. You know what I'm talking about? The one that Pink Dahlia,
Sasquatch.
the Eclipse Truth, anyways, they talk about that and skinwalkers and all these other things. I want to say, I mean, if it's true, why are they still up then?
Yeah.
Because usually if something's true, they take it down.
Mm-hmm.
The-
Well, yeah, and that's. Were you saying that earlier? I don't know if it was offline or on the stream, but about if they're still online, that they're probably controlled opposition. Is
Yeah.
that you?
And do you think they know it? Do you think they know they are?
Oh, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
control that, yeah.
yeah. They obviously sold their souls, or they probably had good intentions at the beginning, and then. But for example, Ole Demigard, who I talk about a lot, David Icke. I don't agree with everything that David Icke says, but I do agree with a lot of what he says. Um, those are both two people that were banned from YouTube. So why do you
Yeah.
think that is?
Yep.
And it's like, if you think about it, it's like if conspiracy theories are so crazy and ridiculous, and if we're insane, then why not just go, all right, whatever, like let them be insane, Why are they trying so hard to silence us?
Well, yeah, our little channels, why would it matter?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Why do people get so offended about our crazy conspiracy talk?
Yep.
Just laugh it off and go, okay, whatever, crazy person. But then no, it's
Yep.
like we got to go another step and silence you.
Yeah.
Silence you. Shoe.
They definitely good at that.
Wait, Shanann Watts. I haven't seen this picture. Have you seen the picture on Pinterest? There's some like studded heels or whatever, and they say I do. I don't remember that picture.
I've never been on Pinterest, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Okay, I did this in a recent live stream, but I don't know if I want to show it. It's pretty bloody. Because
Cynthia says, oh, geez, we're probably on a watch list now.
oh, yeah, the watch no fly list. We're all considered terrorists.
Yeah.
Yeah, for crazy, then move on. Exactly. What does they call it? It's like an ad hominem or something, the term conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Just to make logical people, or people that think logically and think for themselves, cliche as that sounds with my channel, but it's true.
I love the name of your
It just
channel.
makes
It's
them
perfect.
seem, to make logical people seem crazy. I mean,
Yeah. Well, in the end days, good is considered um, evil, and evil is considered good. What is it, Isaiah 5:20 or something?
I don't know.
Um,
All I know is that they're allegedly following the Book of Revelations to like
and
a
it is
T.
happening right now. I mean, everything.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but there's I just don't know if I can go back, and I don't have the time to do it. But um, I don't remember why. I think it was just coincidence. I started watching Orange Is the New Black around the same time
Hmm.
that the Watts case was. That I was watching American Horror Story to look into that. But there's all these references. I was like, what? This sounds exactly like the Watts case. And who in the Watts case was talking about Orange Is the New Black? Does anybody in the chat remember? Quiz for
Yep.
you. Amanda McMahon, right? Or McMahon, or whatever you
Yep.
say her name. Um, yeah, like, but I don't have time to go back and watch those episodes again to get the connections, but they're there. And it's like and it's about these women that are in a all women prison, right? But there's still all these connections to the case. And I'm like, but I guess at the time I kind of didn't really think about it. I'm like, that sounds like the Watts case. Sounds like, but then I was so hooked on American Horror Story. I'm like, didn't even think about it. But then, like I said, now it's like kind of too late. I don't want to go watch that whole that whole series over again. It was good, but it wasn't that great.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh no, Beck, I'm sorry.
That's terrible, Becky Boo. That's yeah. I was responding to her. My dad, my uncle, my cousins. I mean, Jim's uncle. It just seems like there's so like 20 people within getting that vax. They either had cancer or blood clots in their lungs. They all died. My dad, he snuck off and got it. I told him no, dad, and
Oh, I told my
he
mom.
did.
I said, promise me you will not get it unless you do research first. Let me research it.
Yeah.
Let's research it
Well,
together, and then if you want to make it.
my dad, he was, they scared him, and he was in. I mean, he was in pretty good health for being 78 years old, and he was still, going all sorts of different places. They even drove to Oregon to my aunt's house, but I told him no, and he goes, "I promise I won't." Well, 2 weeks after he got it, he goes, "Allie, I got to tell you something." He goes, "I took the vaccine, and I knew immediately I shouldn't have." And he started having severe pain in his back and pneumonias. I knew right then and there what was going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
So,
yeah.
yeah, this that.
My oldest daughter owns a daycare, so she had to get vaxxed too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God nothing has happened to her, but there's so many. I feel so bad for people. Yeah, biological weapon.
Yeah, that's one of those subjects where I watched all the videos on it, watched video
Hmm.
after live stream, but it's just one of those things where I didn't want to cover just how controversial it was, and not only that, but
Yeah.
there were so many people covering it that I'm like, there's enough people covering it. And I didn't know enough about it. Like with the Watts case, I did so much research, and it's something that I'm confident in with what I'm saying, um,
Hmm.
that I can talk about it. That whole thing was not something I wanted to try to go there with, unless I was confident.
Yeah.
But
I'm a Trump supporter. I admit it. The only thing I wonder is why Trump pushed that,
the warp
so
speed.
hard. Huh?
Have you heard? Are you talking about warp speed?
I'm
Um.
talking about the Pope.
Oh, well, Project Warp Speed was, yeah. He was put that. That was the whole to get it out there. Um.
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard of. It's called. I don't remember what it was called before, but it's now called. It's called Truth Tide. It's on Roku. I don't know where else you can find it, but they have a lot of really good videos. Like they have like Bill Cooper and David, just everything, all the pandemic stuff. But and that again, that would be one of those things where you can't believe everything. You got to kind of take it with a grain of
Yeah.
salt. Chemtrail stuff, a lot of videos on chemtrails, but just Illuminati, just all that stuff.
Boy,
But
that runs deep.
there was a Trump one that I watched, and they were explaining, because that was my issue too with him. One of the issues is why he would push that out, and there was hardly any research on it. But and I can't remember exactly how they explain it, but it was something to where is if he didn't do that, and I'm trying to play devil's advocate and look at both sides, you know, if he not pushed that warp speed thing, I'm not going to say the whole thing. Then it was, and don't quote me on this, but something along the lines of where we would have all had, it would have been a bad date for everybody. Like we would have had to all get it. So we wouldn't have had a choice. Does that make sense? Like, so, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know verbatim, but the way they explained it, I kind of was like, well, you know, that does make sense too. And it might look bad on his part, but I don't know. You'd have to see it, and if I could find it, I'll send it to you. But I like to look at all perspectives before coming. You know,
Yeah.
Even if I see a case and I'm like, oh yeah, like this looks like I see the symbolism, but it must be not real. Like no, like I'm gonna definitely look into it more before I can come out and say anything. You know.
I think they're setting us up for another pandemic to come out. I mean, there's so much, you know, that they're talking about now. I mean, do you ever go to the World Health Organization website?
No,
You
I think I did
should,
like once or twice to see what was in there.
because they tell us
In their
6
candy.
months to a year before what's happening, and they're talking about a lot of the new pandemic. They're talking a lot about AIDS and HIV. I mean, and why all the commercials on, you know, the hepatitis and the AIDS anymore? It's constantly.
Yeah. It's all about big pharma and oil.
Yeah, speaking of the big pharma, you know, my You Mary that I was telling you about, you could order it right on Amazon, and I would buy them 4-pack at a time because my whole family's on it. Do you know I went to order today, and you can only order 1 bottle per order. They don't even have them in the 4-packs because too many people were feeling good on the turmeric and the hyaluronic acid. They want people to take their drugs. And Amazon's connected to big pharma too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's called You Mary. It's capital U and then Mary, and it's literally turmeric, magnesium, hyaluronic acid, and it helps with lupus, helps with anything. I've got my whole family on it. It's awesome. Plus, they raised the price from $23 to 28 on Amazon. But I went through Walmart, and you can only do 1 order at a time. Amazon don't even sell the original one anymore. They took it off.
But you know those side patches that Shanna was doubling up on? It even says right in the instructions, or the warnings of Thrive, that pregnant women should not wear those patches, especially what's the ones that were like the stronger ones. What's the name of them? That Chris would wear too.
The Duo.
Yeah, the Duo. Yeah, so she would wear that. Not only that, but it was like right next to her heart. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not. You know how people are like, don't bash a victim and a pregnant woman. She was a great mother. It's like, I'm not saying she was, but I'm just saying there's some questionable things that she did by wearing Duo caffeine patches. Like, a pregnant woman shouldn't even have caffeine, and you're doubling up on it, like, and you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it clearly says in Lavelle's um, whatever on their label, like we don't recommend pregnant women wear these patches.
Yep.
And who knows if anything's even in the patches, you know? That could just be like that's their whole marketing thing too. You know, you see
Well,
someone
they
walking down the
marketed
street,
it.
down New Orleans street, and they're like, oh, look at it. She's got some fancy patches on her. Not really, but I mean, I think they look stupid. But like, you know, what
Oh,
are
I never,
those?
when I wore them, I hid them. I was kind of
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Yeah. You know, this, and I brought that up about um, Nicole Atkinson, like when she did the welfare check. It's like she's got one on this boob, she's got another one on this boob, she's got like, you know, it's like, and then who was it that lived in Arizona? Shanann's friend that gave the interview for um what's her name? Can't even remember. Brunette friend. But anyway, she did an interview with a local Arizona station, and she's literally talking about her deceased friend and her children, and she's got a big black thrive patch on her shoulder. I'm like, you couldn't cover it up for your deceased friends for an interview that you're giving about your deceased friend. I mean, how distasteful is that, right? Unless
Yep.
you're trying to promote something, right? Like,
Yep.
it's just a huge campaign. And a lot of people brought that up too about Shannon's Facebook still being open. It's not a memorial on there for her. It's literally a Thrive website. Like, you know,
Yep.
there's just like, and it's funny too because I'll have like my best friend. He's I don't like using the word woke, but he knows what's going on about
Yeah.
most stuff. But like, I'll try to talk to him about this stuff in the case, but like it's just there's so much information in this case that it's hard. Like, so if someone comes into like my live stream and they're like, okay, tell us your theory, I'm like all in one live stream, like that's impossible. Like I
You
could
just
try to
need
put it
time
in
to go
like a
back and watch your videos because
yeah,
there's no way.
like it's just there's just it's so much to it that you can't.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing.
No.
Hey, Truth Hurts.
I was gonna.
But
You talked about your friend. What I wouldn't give to have one of my friends that I could actually talk to about this, because none of my friends, they believe everything that's on the news. They do not believe anything that I say. They think I'm crazy, but they laugh at me. I'm like, whatever.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, like, and that's the thing is like politics, and that's another thing. It's like I don't know enough about politics where I'm gonna try to get in a debate with someone. Like I'm only gonna get in a debate with someone or a conversation with someone unless I know what I'm talking about or think I know what I'm talking about. You know, so I'll stand back and I'll watch. But like, or religion. Like, I don't know enough about religion, but I do know that both of those are very controversial and it causes people to like lose family members and friends, and it's sad. It really is. And Bill Cooper said too in one of his older interviews, he said as long as there's a left and a right wing, there's always going to be division no matter what.
Yeah. Yep. And that
And
is
that's
the
what they
truth.
want. They want us to be
Yep.
divided. That's what they're doing. That's what the Black Lives Matter with probably the LGBTQ, just anything. They want us divided. They want us constantly fighting because if we're fighting, that makes us weak, and they know that there's more of us. So if we work in unison, that's scary for them. Like we
Yeah.
overpower them. But as long as they keep us divided and distracted, they're going to keep slipping, laws, and it's just it's only going to get worse.
Jay Lore said that she doesn't trust Trump like she did before. Well, here's the thing. I am a huge Trump supporter. I still, if we got to have anybody, my problem is I keep asking myself, okay, either one scenario is I think God is using him to help us, and the second scenario, if he was really good, why isn't he gone? Why haven't they assassinated him? You know what I'm saying? I really, my whole, I'm still working on that. I'm trying to get my discernment, to figure it out. What's your thoughts
Talking
on
back.
that, Megan?
So my thing is with politicians is that they they all sleep in the same bed together,
Hmm.
and then but when Trump came into the picture, it was like, okay, he's not a politician, he's a businessman. He's got money. He can't be swayed by these, other countries or whatever that campaign for him and give him all these contributions, or because he doesn't need it. You know, he's a
Yep.
billionaire. But then there was like the Project Warp Speed, and then it was like the space wars or whatever, $16 million to it or something, and then it was the stimulus check, and then it was like, I was like, is he just making the rich richer? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about it. All I know is that I'm not going to be on the Trump bandwagon. Like,
Yeah.
was everything way better than if like Hillary got in or whatever? Like, yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
they're
used to
all
like going grocery shopping.
actors.
Let's just say that. Um, and the economy was great, but again, it just because I'm not just gonna 100% jump on the bandwagon. I still have my doubts.
Yeah. And so you're where I'm at. I mean, it's just, and my whole family, Jim's family, they are huge. And I just tell them, I look at them all and I'm like, you know what? There ain't no man gonna save us. There's one person, and that's Jesus. It ain't gonna be no Trumpster. Now, is God using him? I don't know, but just him. I mean, they idolize him. People idolize that man.
Yeah, they also hate him though too.
Oh
But
gosh, but not very many.
I
I've
mean,
even
but it's
had
like,
Democrats turn and push for Trump now
well, I mean,
around here.
how could they not? It's just like with this.
Yeah,
That's why I always say I hope that the symbolism in these cases will be their downfall, because it's getting so ridiculous that people are going to start with like waking up. They're going to
yep.
start
They
going.
shove it right in our faces.
I mean, you're literally trying to take this guy out of like the what it was in Colorado, so that he can run in Colorado. What was it? The
Oh yeah,
Colorado ballots or whatever. Like,
yep,
if you don't like him, fine, but at least let the
yeah.
man can't, like, run and fairly. And then if he loses fairly, then great. But if you guys are trying to literally sabotage him and not, he can't even run
Hmm.
in a certain state, like, that's, people are going, wait a second, that's something's off about this. But like,
When Trump, oh, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
no, go. I know, I'm done.
I was just saying when Trump, I believe it was here in Iowa. I didn't get to go because, of course, I had to work. But he read the snake poem. That kind of freaked me out a little. You know,
Hmm.
the snake. So I don't know how you
But
guys
and then,
feel.
yeah, people don't like his demeanor. They don't like how he talks. Like, yeah, okay, he's not the most well-spoken president, but it's like, for me personally, would I rather have someone like Obama or Bill Clinton that are smooth talkers and tell you what you want to hear, or would
No.
you rather have someone like Trump who's a little bit, matter of fact, or a
Yeah.
lot matter of fact, and maybe not the best that, like, but I'd rather have the truth than be lied to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, he's such a great speaker, and he's like, oh, he's gonna, like, no, like, but I mean, as a president, yeah, you should probably be a little bit more.
This whole debate the other night was the biggest shit show ever. Jesus, Lord have mercy. That Biden, I'm telling you, all
This,
he can do is laugh.
I know, and I almost feel bad now because it's like it's to the point where I don't think he even knows. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on. Like, they're literally, to me, in my opinion, using him, like,
Oh,
and then I feel
absolutely.
bad for him for like a second, and then I remember how like corrupt and shitty he is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And who do you think's using him? Who do you think's above him?
Um,
That's which one?
I was watching. There's that PBD podcast that I watch. But
Hmm.
I don't know if you've heard me talk about them, but um, he had that Stephen Greer guy on. And again, I
Yep.
don't believe everything that Stephen Greer says, but he was saying how the people that you think are the most powerful are not even the most powerful. The people that
No,
are the most powerful, you don't even know their names. You don't even know they exist, that are making
no.
the calls.
and I don't know, I hope I don't make anybody mad, but it makes it, to me, it starts maybe at the Vatican. You're probably, gosh, thinking you're crazy, Allison, but I don't know. You know, you go to the Vatican, all you see is the snakes and the dragons.
You'll have to watch this ODD TV video that's on it's on Odyssey, and it's about big pharma and like the whole
Hmm.
the Baphomet staff, like the snake around the medical symbol, like
Hmm.
what they put in those things, and
Oh,
then
it's all healthcare. It's your hospitals, your ambulances, your pharmaceutical companies. They all have the snake that's wrapped
mhm,
around. I mean,
yeah,
and then that's what I was talking about with Trump reading the snake poem. Just go listen to that poem.
okay, I'll look it up.
Um, Becky Boo, you're 100%. They are very evil, all of them. Tawana says my husband would
Um,
agree with you. Yeah, yep. Um,
but Stephen Greer, he was talking about how Nikola Tesla had this um, invention to power everyone's for nothing, pretty much,
yeah,
like free energy. And supposedly, allegedly, FBI went into his apartment or whatever after he died and took all of his files, and nobody's seen him or seen what happened to him since then. All of his
yeah.
inventions. Uh, who would lose if we could power our cars on water, right?
Hmm.
The oil industry, like they're not going to have that happen.
Yep.
Like, and then you have what was the other thing you mentioned? Oh, like yeah, pharmaceutical. Like they're not going to say if they have a cure for cancer, um, because they want people to be in the hospitals. Like that's all. It's
Yeah.
big pharma runs it all, and like they said earlier, the oil companies, they would be the ones that would lose substantially. So they can't have that,
Well,
right?
the hospitals, the doctors, and I know there's some nurses in
Hey,
here and
Claudia.
stuff, but they have caused a lot of the epidemic as far as your narcotic, all the narcotics going around. They put everybody on these narcotics, and then they decided they wasn't going to, and that's where all these people started going downhill, and it's sad. Um, it is sad. And I'm talking young kids. You know, there was a boy that he was a good football player, and he broke his leg or something. And this was a few years back, but you know, now he this kid could have went anywhere. He was 4.0. Now he walks around talking to himself because he's so into the drugs, and it's just sad. I mean, you've got people that are, some people, Iowa, it's not illegal or not legal, but I think they go to Missouri to get marijuana, but they're even lacing marijuana with that synthetic fentanyl, and it kills people. Just awful. And you know, in the Bible, Jesus says there is a remedy. He's got a natural remedy for everything. And that's why I try to do all natural stuff. You know, when
Who
I
has a
tore
national?
my meniscus, I did had a meniscus tear and an LCL. And I went to the doctor, they did an MRI, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try using oils. So I just took lavender oil and lemongrass oil and I put it on my leg like 4 times a day, my knee, the side, and I healed that with in a very short time. And my orthopedic doctor, he's like, don't be telling people that stuff. You're going to put me out of a job. And I do. I tell everybody lemongrass and lavender oil will pretty much cure any broken bone. It doesn't help with migraines. That's one thing I take medicine for. I take Topamax and Zofran because when I get a migraine, I'll get sick, and I can't find anything natural yet. But everything else, I've taken all natural stuff. And I've got my mom on all natural stuff because there's, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I'd rather
something
go the
natural
natural
about,
route.
yep.
Yeah, they've said that there's like plants in your backyard, like depending on where you're at, that can literally heal things, heal your body. But they don't want you to know all of that.
Yeah, Becky, I hope your daughter can heal her kidneys. Man.
Yep.
Well, Megan, I think I'm going to get off here and get to bed. I
Yeah,
got
it's
to be
late
up
for you,
in
huh?
4 hours.
I know. We finally figured out how to
But
do
we
the
need to
camera
do
thing.
this again really soon. And maybe other people can come up and talk with us. I love
Yeah, of
if
course.
anybody
Yeah,
would want to. They don't have to be on camera. I'm not on camera. I'd
yeah.
scare everybody if I was on camera
Oh,
right
stop
now.
it.
But
I mean, I'd
I
much
would
rather do
love.
it on Discord, but I mean, if you could try to figure out Discord, that
I will
would
try to
be so
figure it
much
out
easier
tomorrow
than
at
email.
work.
And I mean, I know that we text, but I
Yeah.
mean,
Does all these people, all these ones in the chat go on your Discord?
Beck's on there. Who else just joined? Um, Dev joined. There's a couple other people just joined, but I mean, if it's going to be the best way to get in contact with me if anybody does have questions, because I do not check my emails, and it's
I'm
so much
terrible
easier
with
just to
emails
DM back
too.
and forth if you have to have a conversation than it is to email. It's like, okay, reply and then wait and then reply. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Becky Boo, I will
I,
definitely be praying for your daughter.
yeah, me too.
Everybody say a prayer for her daughter. Man, that's just sad. But yeah, we
But
will
yeah,
do
we
this
can try to
again.
do this again tomorrow if you want. I don't know if I will be able to, but I will message you and let you know. But I'm glad we did this. And it helps me because I don't have to talk the whole time. you know.
I'm like, when I get up by myself, I can't do a video by myself. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
Before you go, let me just post my Discord link, see if anybody wants to join. And like I said, it is kind of a pain in the butt to like join another thing, but um but it's that's the easiest way, like I said, to get in contact. And then it's a community too. It's kind of like Reddit, sort of, but it's like my own
Okay.
personal Reddit. So, and it's a place where people can go who might not feel comfortable speaking out or saying the things that they want to say in chat, like because they know if they go in there, they're going to be safe in my
Yeah.
own Discord. Like no one's gonna call them crazy. And if they do, they're gone. So, um, that's why to me, I feel like I encourage people to go to the Discord. So
Okay. I will do my best, even if I have to start a whole new whatever.
yeah, yeah, please do.
All right. Well, thank you for having
Yeah, of
me.
course. Yeah, thanks
And it
everyone.
was nice meeting everyone.
All right, see you guys next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.